Right, hi folks. I'm just coming back as always with this just a little Friday afternoon random ramblings. So I've done videos on this previously about this idea that or this misconception that the regular and territorial army were deployed miles inland and the home guard would have been sacrificed to the enemy to give the regs and TAs time to deploy and get their arse into gear and move off to attack the enemy. And obviously, I've already proven that is completely untrue. But I've recently been doing some extensive mapping based on location statements for Eastern Command. And one of the things I want to do as part of a wider body of work, because I'm doing a bit of work in Suffolk, looking at pillboxes and stuff. I wanted to map and visualize the range of units that were deployed in Eastern Command in East Anglia and all this stuff, just to give an idea as well of how complex again these units are, and to try and visualize how complex a division and various divisions and units were. And as a result of that, this is I'm going to show you a map that I've developed. So this is a map that I've put together from one of the location statements dating to January 1940. So the key thing here is this is obviously way before the fall of France. This is very much Julius Caesar plan era, which is something I'll cover in the defense areas, or the not defense areas, the defense strategy videos. I'm currently working on the first Julius Caesar plan video, and it's quite complex. But one of the key things I wanted to do with that is show the kind of units, the divisions that were deployed across the east of the country to defend it under the Julius Caesar plan, which was implemented in November 1939. So this is January 1940, and we can see these are the units of at least two divisions that were deployed and various other divisions within the Eastern Command that were deployed to defend East Anglia. So we can see that even, and this is way before the Home Guard were formed as well. But we can see these units are literally everywhere, and we have got everything from like field hygiene sections. I think there's a couple of dentists in here and all this stuff, dental centres and all this stuff. But we can see how vast units were spread across, Norfolk and Suffolk. So we've got a lot going on. We've got at least one battalion of the Royal Berkshire Regiments. A battalion would cover about this area, give or take. So you're looking at about 800 troops. We've got field ambulances. We've got Home Defence Battalion, the Royal Suffolk Regiment, 5 Company here. We've got the brigade headquarters. We've got an Royal Artillery Regiment. And again, this is in this period before France had fallen, in the period of the Phoney War. And we can see there was a vast amount of defence going on. Felixstowe is heavily defended by various Fortress Company of the Royal Engineers and various artillery units. Colchester was kind of like a hub for military training. So we've got not only D Company of the Number 7 Home Defence Battalion Essex Regiment, we've also got military hospital, various non-divisional troops, and all this stuff. We've also got the School of East Anglian Area Artillery Wing, and all this stuff going on. So this hopefully gives you an idea of what's going on in Cambridge. Ex-company of the Number 6 Home Defence Battalion. So I covered the Home Defence Battalions in my previous video. These were the backbone of the defence of the UK and doing this role which people think the Home Guard were doing today. So hopefully this gives you an idea of, again, how complex the defence of several counties is, or was. It was, isn't it? But what surprised me with this is also, like, these are all the units that are within Eastern Command, but have been allocated to the East Anglian area. So we have troops all the way inland as Bedfordshire and where's that, Leighton Buzzard, which were in support of these units deployed in East Anglia. So again, you can see the footprint of these units isn't just on the coast and inland areas, it's also much further inland when you consider things like the hospitals associated with the casualty clearing stations. We've got 10th Cumberland Company non-divisional troops and all this stuff. So this is before the period that everyone knows about, following the fall of France, and it shows you just how many troops were tied up in the UK, deployed on home defence in this period in June 1940, before things kicked off and all this stuff. So that's just a little informal video to show you some of the work I'm doing, and again give you an insight into how complex the defence of the UK was. One thing I could do with calculating is how many individual soldiers this kind of represents, which I don't know how I'll do that, but it'd be useful to see. But you consider as well, I think when I had the chat with Taff, this idea that every soldier that joins the army is a fighting, going to be on the front and fighting and all this stuff is not true. For every, and again paraphrasing this, for every one soldier that fights, there's another five, six, seven behind the lines supporting them, and this is clearly demonstrated here. Anyway, hopefully that's giving you some food for thought for the weekend. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you, chaps. Bye.